Okay, here we go. More about weakening behavior. We talked about punishment. Our second option here would be reinforcement removal. And this definition is a little bit better, a little bit easier to understand. Reinforcement removal means to take away or remove reinforcement when the undesired behavior occurs. Actually, I think I'll change this a little bit and say after, to take away reinforcement after the undesired behavior occurs. So, because there is a sequence here, and the timing and the sequence of this is very important. For the reinforcement removal, you'll have an undesired behavior, and then right after that, reinforcement is taken away. There's a couple of different forms of this. The bare form of this is called extinction. Okay, reinforcement which has been or maintaining some type of behavior is just simply stopped. Okay, let's look at an example of this. Johnny raises his hand in class and waves it wildly. Okay, he wants to participate, and each time he does this, he raises his hand, moves it around wildly, and he yells, "I know, I know." Eventually the teacher just ignores him and does not call on him to answer. You might be too young, but you might recall this particular famous scene from television. That's the famous Arnold Horshack scene from Welcome Back, Kotter, which you may be too young to remember, but that's what I always think about. My generation will think about that with this example. Okay, so here's the behavior. He does this thing where he raises his hand and he shouts out. Now this can be disruptive. Certainly he's an enthusiastic kid, but this can be disruptive. So what does the teacher do? She just ignores him. She removes the reinforcement. If she begins to call on him every time he does this, then she is reinforcing this behavior. If she doesn't give him any attention, there's no reinforcement. And of course, the behavior will weaken. Let's look at this next example. Mary's mother often takes her along on shopping trips. Mary sometimes starts to cry and scream when she wants something and does not get it. Mary's mother ignores the crying and screaming and just keeps shopping until Mary calms down. This is not easy, but obviously we can see the cry and scream when she wants something and doesn't get it. That's our undesired behavior. And ignoring, that's our removal of reinforcement. Okay? You can see where this is just basically taking away that which would reinforce it. If she gives her whatever she wants or gives her attention, then she's reinforcing the behavior. But in this case, she's taking it away. Okay? And it's not easy to do something like this. If you've ever seen a parent like this in a public situation, you might say to yourself, wow, what a bad parent. Why don't they do something about that kid? Well, they kind of are doing something. They're maybe in the process of training that child using reinforcement removal, extinction in particular. The thing about this is, and like I said, it's tough, but the keys are being consistent and persistent. Okay, you have to be very stringent about this. You can't give in. And this is more effective if it's combined with reinforcing some alternative behavior. If the parent can try to reinforce some other kind of behavior, such as expressing yourself calmly and clearly, okay, if that goes along in conjunction with reinforcement removal, it tends to be much more effective. And we'll look at some more in the next recording.